All right, Coach, I thought really quite candid of you to express your disappointment in last season. Tell me a little bit about maybe some of the ways that you guys fell short that you identify that you're going to try and improve upon this year.
Yeah, I didn't think it was something that I didn't want to hide. And we didn't hide it all season. I mean, that's what my life has consisted of the last 7 months. So I thought we struggled offensively and defensively fundamentally, and it all came down really to me. I thought, because all responsible for the head coach. I thought we were kind of, I don't want to say poorly coached, but I thought we could have been coached better, and a lot of it had to do with just the fundamentals, the teaching and the fundamentals of the game. Not even so much scheme, but just teaching the actual brick and mortar of the game of football. And we didn't do that. We got away from it. And part of that was I thought we overachieved 2 years ago. And a lot of times it's human nature to it's almost harder when you have success than it is when you fail. And so I think me as a head coach, and going into my second year, I'm still developing as a head coach, and I don't have all the answers, but I'm able to find those answers, I think, and that's what this off season's been about. So, it wasn't so much a chemistry thing, or it was just we got a little bit of ahead of ourselves, I think.
It sounds like with so many starters returning, that could be a challenge for you as you really try to, if I understand you correctly, get back to basics, get back to simply fundamentals, because you can have all the starters that you want back, but if they're not doing the right things, that can kind of create a problem. So what are those kind of challenges? I mean, it's good having all those guys back. They know you in the system, but also that you got to kind of break them down again.
I think it was hard. It was almost harder to do that after the first season because they thought everything that they were doing was right. That's why have a disappointing season in the long run, I think, is almost like a blessing in disguise. I mean, it wasn't fun, doing what we did last year and what I felt was underachieving, but I think it was beneficial in the long run because now I think the other players understand that we need to continue to get better, and it's not like it's just going to happen. You got to continue to focus on being more consistent. It can always improve. And it hasn't been as tough. The toughest part was really right after the season and in the beginning of the winter, getting those guys to understand that we did underachieve. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to believe it. And it was hard as a head coach to get that message across. But I think that we were successful in doing that. And you can't begin to improve until you understand what needs improvement, and that was the toughest part back in January and February. But the players have done a great job, and the coaches have done a great job of getting back to basics and understanding and believing that we do need to get back to basics. Where after the 2013 season, it was, we said it, but I don't think anybody believed it. I think they thought we were going to come in and win 6 or 7. If we won 5 that year, we were going to win 6 or 7 last year, and it just didn't happen like that. So it wasn't fun. I wasn't happy about it, but it happened. I think you can learn from it, and almost sometimes, if you can treat failure the right way, you can be better off because of that failure. And I think, and I'm hoping that we will be this year.
A little bit about the quarterback position and some different players and things like that. At the end of the day, how are you evaluating who's going to win that job? What is most important to you? What does that guy have to do to win your job?
Consistency, and that's the biggest thing I think. Really, at any position is I think the definition of success is being consistent. And if you can do something great, that's good, but you won't truly be great until you can do that consistently, and there's no position that's more important than the quarterback position. And Tyler Boland has he does some really good things, and he's never really been the starter to this point. And as a backup, it's kind of like you got almost, I don't want to say you don't have anything to lose, but it's a different mentality. When you go into the game, you're pushed into the game, and nobody really expects you to do what the starter did. But then once you're the starter, everybody expects you. There's a lot more weight on your shoulders, and he's been able to get away with doing some great things, but he now, as to be the starter, he needs to be able to do those things consistently, and that's what he's struggled with a little bit over the course of the spring. But he's done a good job. But really, whoever starts it, our starting quarterback will be our most consistent player.
To improve on that win column, you're going to have to beat some teams in the league that are very, very good. What kind of challenges does that present on a weekly basis for you?
It keeps you. It's extremely worrisome because the games that we did win last year could have gone either way. I mean, there's no easy team. That's why I said it. I don't think that necessarily we underachieved in wins and losses. We could have been 5-5. The same as the year before, and I think we would have still underachieved. It makes it difficult because we could be a better team than we were last year and win less games. And then if something like that were to happen, now the players, they don't know what to expect. So or they don't know what to think. They say, well, how can we be a better team this year? So it makes it work because every single week there's not one game that is easy to prepare for and easy to play in. Every place you go to every road game you go to is an extremely tough atmosphere to play. I enjoy that, but it also puts gray hairs in your hair because of it. But I think this conference has done a great job and all the schools in it have done a great job of getting us to this point because it wasn't like this before this conference was here.
So, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
To you.
Good talking to you. We'll try to keep our mistakes to a minimum.